Ladies and gentlemen, 11:25. A brilliant performance from Conor Benn. Such a well-rounded performance. Spite, which we always know he has. Defence, movement. Very unusual to see a whole arena clapping for someone to make people miss. Just a show-real knockout and a real statement. So over to you guys for questions for Conor and Tony as well.
Conor, it was a real sickening knockout, as I just mentioned to Eddie then. Did you feel that the finish was going to come as quick as it did, and what was your reaction when it did happen?
Definitely knew the knockout was coming. I mean, I'm flying in super middleweights for sparring. They're not just sparring 6 rounds or 3-4 rounds. I'm sparring 12 rounds with 2 different middleweights, super middleweights. 12 rounds, 4 minutes, 30 seconds rest. So if he wanted to take me into deep waters, his trainer was saying I was going to sink, but. Do you know what, the talk is cheap. Talk is very cheap. And just because I don't go around raving about how good I am, or I'm top class, and I'll just let my fist do the talking. Continue to prove that I will be number one, and that number one spot. I'm coming for it.
Were you surprised that the ref actually did a count when that knockout? It was nuts, wasn't it? Really,
See that a lot lately, actually.
Yeah.
Very, very surprised, because when you see him just go down,
he did. Sit up, go to sit up.
Yeah.
But you could see by the way he went down. I mean, he was poleaxed. You don't need to count when a fighter's poleaxed, but
it was a scary second, Conor, where you were coxing. It looked like he was still on his feet. You could have done him again. You would have been in trouble for it, but you showed a bit of maturity and experience that you didn't have.
I was very close. I was very, very close. You talk about maturity. It don't mean spite still ain't there. I've hit a guy before. Stephen Jamal, I hit him, see his eye rolled to the back of his head, and I still want to take him out. So it ain't. It's just the way I am. I'm very passionate about what I do. I'd like to think I'd be the guy that gets down with his hands and knees straight away. But I'm in such an animated, aggressive state that I'm just still revved up. But I'm glad he's okay. We just had a chat afterwards. So. Just thankful to share the ring with him.
Conor, a lot of people, as every fight, they say maybe this one is a bigger step up for you, and that's what the word was with Chris Algieri. Did you feel the difference in experience from your previous opponents, even though you got that amazing knockout?
No. If anything, I think Formella was a little bit more trickier than Algieri in terms of styles. And if someone comes to win, it allows me to capitalise on their mistakes. I've not only just beat Algieri, I've also learnt in there as well. This is my education. I'm evolving. I'm growing still. And that's what the great thing is about my career, is people have really seen me go from. It's very rare you get someone under the spotlight like I was and progress to world level. It's very rare, because a normal person...
And so raw at the start.
And terribly raw.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to say that.
Didn't say, I'll say it for that. Terribly raw. But, we keep it moving, man. And, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. I don't care who you are. If you work hard, you can do whatever you want. Just apply yourself 100%.
I think it's amazing if you go back to that skinny kid walking down the steps at O2.
Skinny podgy kid.
Yeah. Just to think that he would go on, and I know there's still levels to come, but Formella, Vasquez, Granados, Algieri, just over that sort of year period, and perform the way he has, and headline tonight in Liverpool. I mean, he's from Ilford, via Australia, via Spain. So, but that's just a sign that the kid, he's a star, and everywhere he goes, Leeds last time out, the reception's incredible because he's so exciting to watch.
I was going to ask as well, after the fight, I know you're still enjoying the fruits of this fight, but the name Broner was brought to you. I want to see what you think of that as a potential next opponent. Is that something you want to entertain for 2022?
I'll take Broner out. He don't concern me at all. These fights I've asked for, I don't need to call them out on social media, because I know what social media is, because I get called out myself by these bums. I get called out all the time. It's like, you just got to pay no attention. So I get Broner or Brook or Khan not entertaining the thought, but I've said to Eddie, listen, if you can make it. At the end of the day, money talks. So that's it. That's what it comes down to.
You mentioned Broner as well. Obviously, Khan and Brook, the conversation. I know Eddie, you feel that that's just not realistic, really, is it?
I don't listen. I like Amir, but his eyes nearly popped out of his head when I started talking about Conor Benn. He doesn't want to face that young smoke. Do you know what I mean? And that's why he took the Kell Brook fight over the Conor Benn fight, because it's a friendly affair. The two guys, it's a little go in and have a dance for several million, and good luck to them, they deserve it. But it's different when you're talking about Conor and Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. These are horrible, spiteful young fighters that come in to take your head off, and they won't be doing that in that fight, trust me. And that's what I said to Amir, you know, Amir against that. You imagine what Conor Benn would do to Amir Khan. Oh my God. I mean, you saw that tonight. It would be, honestly, it would be over within 2 rounds. 2 rounds. As soon as he hit him on the chin, you know, I tell him you don't scream and shout, but you know, as soon as he hit Amir Khan, it would be brutal. And but we'd still love the winner, you know. But I don't think the winner, you know. But I don't think the winner will fight on.
Is it not something you'd actually actively pursue?
Yeah, I'd love to, but I just don't. All those conversations. This is the last one for those guys. Kell may buy a boxer. I don't know, but this is it for those guys. This is the future, you know. But we're not waiting around. Those guys are going to fight in February. Then they're not going to fight again till September, October, November. We're out in the spring. So who's next? That's the question, and that's a conversation. Listen, I mean, you know, we always talked about that level of Algieri, Guerrero, or, you know, you've sort of just demolished that level. So now it's up to Tony and Charlie, and just to say, like, this is, you know, there's still 2 levels till World Championship. So that's really.
So how many fights are you talking?
2, I think.
2.
2 fights, and then fight for the world, because you're going to be 22
rounds. What if they keep ending within 6 rounds?
Don't start getting violent with me.
We're talking about opponents.
I don't know if you can hear it, Conor, but some of your biggest cheers tonight was for your defensive work.
Yeah.
It's obviously the toughest thing to really learn in the sport. Did you hear that, or what does it mean to you?
Yeah, but I mean, when I do this day in, day out, the more opponents they bring in front of me, the more I can display everything we've been working on. It's not like I'm talking rubbish when I go, my next fight, you'll see a completely different Conor Benn. Because you've seen a completely different Conor Benn in the past 4 or 5 fights. And the next fight, you'll continue to see something else, because I've got a good coach here. And I say coach because coach is just more than a trainer. It's just all round, you know, inside the ring, outside the ring, technique, mindset. It's all one. Do you know what I mean? And Tony's moulded me into a world-class fighter, and I'll continue to prove it. You know, that's fine. It's fine with me. For those who want to keep down, I keep talking about it, that's because it bothered me when I really struggled when I was 19, 20, coming through, trying my hardest. You know, I just had to knuckle down and apply myself. And you know, you'll continue to see a lot more. There's still a lot more to go. There's still a lot more to learn, a lot more to put on display.
Lockdown kept you apart from your dad for a long time. What means to box with him next year like that?
We've had a great camp. It's been nothing but laughter and just memories being made. I mean, because obviously my dad's not here, is he? So, you know, having my dad here, it's like having my brother, a brother that I never had here. You know, it really is a blessing. And I messaged my dad while I was in the hotel saying, thank you so much, just for opening these doors. Because I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for you. Yeah, I train hard. Yeah, I do everything I possibly can. But he's paved the way for me. So, you know, I'll always be grateful and show gratitude to my dad for that.
If the next fight is a big international opponent like Broner, are you guys going to do your best to make sure that fight is staged over here in the UK?
Yeah, Conor's boxed in America before, and he definitely boxed in America again. But he's a star. Like, you know, if you look at the stars of British boxing, I know you got AJ, you got Fury, but he's right up there. So really, we want to make sure, you know, we got that period of Frotch and, you know, Groves, and see old big Tony down there, all that. And now you look at who are the guys that can fill arenas, and that's Conor Benn. You know, good crowds. We only had 4 weeks to sell this show, 4 weeks on sale, and we had just under 7,000 in there tonight. So that's a great achievement for Conor Benn.
Heavyweight numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, and really, the O2 is where we should be next. You know, that's.
Broner will take that fight, and can you get him?
Yeah, he wants to have a fight early next year. He wants to have a comeback fight, and then, you know. But we need an opponent for. You know, I don't know when Tony and Charlie and Conor and will want to box. I'm thinking March, April, and you know, we don't want to wait for people to see how they get on in a warm-up fight and stuff like that. We just want a good top 10 guy now, and someone that can help us fill the O2. And that's why Algieri was a great opponent. He's got a name, he's got credibility, he's a good fighter, former world champion, great resume, he's American. A lot of people tuned in America tonight to watch that fight as well. So that's all part of the plan.
Obviously, Broner kind of brings a different aspect to something that you're used to, in terms of that he's a trash talker, he's a character, and he might use the press conferences to try and get under your skin. Is that something that you are relishing? Because the higher the levels go, there's going to be characters like that, isn't there, that are going to try and use the mind games.
Yeah, he won't want to trash talk me, mate.
He's good at it.
Well, I'll let him know. He don't trash talk me.
Will you go for him in a verbal war of words?
Likely.
You'd embrace that?
Physical, yeah, probably.
You might get physical.
Might get a bit physical, depends how he wants to play.
I think you can have your hands full there, Eddie, with that one.
Sure. Get the fines ready.
When you look back at the last 2 years, like COVID has hurt a lot of careers, but for you, you had the first part of it where you were kind of locked away in the gym, and then the second part of it, you've had fight after fight after fight. If you look back now, and this being kind of it helped you in a way.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously I've torn a tendon in my hand, I've broken my jaw, and while I've had these injuries, and COVID for example, it allowed me to work on a lot of things. Instead of keep having to fight on shows, make weight, deal with the pressure, just focus on getting fit, I'm able to train on a full stomach. I'm able to, learn, take my time, not in a rush, to work on a shot that's going to fit the style of my opponent, just work on ring generalship and, working the jab, knowing your way around the ring. School's never at me.